Roman.
If you missed last night's Raw, you missed absolute chaos. CM Punk's war with the Vision just reached nuclear levels, and oh yeah, the tribal chief is back. Roman Reigns returned in the most explosive way possible.
There it is. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit. Holy shit.
And the entire wrestling world is losing their minds. I'm breaking down every single moment, every twist, and what this means for the road ahead. Smash that like button, subscribe to Wrestling vs. And let's dive into the madness. Welcome back to Wrestling vs., your home for the most comprehensive WWE coverage on YouTube. Last night's Raw from the sold-out arena was nothing short of spectacular, and I've got a full 20-minute deep dive into everything that went down.
There it is. Holy shit. Holy. Let's go.
We're talking Team CM Punk, the Vision's dominance, and a Roman Reigns return that nobody saw coming. This is going to be good, people. Alright, let's set the scene. For weeks now, we've been watching this rivalry between CM Punk and the Vision intensify to dangerous levels. The Vision, this calculated, methodical faction that's been dismantling everyone in their path, has had Punk in their crosshairs since he dared to stand up to their tyranny. Last week, and this is crucial context, the Vision laid out Punk with a brutal assault that left him questioning whether he could even compete. But this is CM Punk we're talking about, the voice of the voiceless, the best in the world, and quitting has never been in his vocabulary. The announced team hyped this as a 5-on-5 traditional elimination tag team match, and the stakes couldn't be higher. If Team Punk loses, the Vision gets complete control of Raw's main event scene for the next month. If Punk's team wins, they get to dismantle the Vision piece by piece in individual matches. It's winner takes all, and the tension in that arena was electric. Now, let's talk about the teams. Team CM Punk consisted of Punk himself as the captain, along with 4 hand-picked allies who've all had their own issues with the Vision. Each member brought something unique to the table: speed, power, technical prowess, and that intangible fighting spirit that makes for incredible tag team chemistry. On the other side, the Vision came out looking like an unstoppable force. Their leader has been orchestrating attacks with surgical precision, and his 4 lieutenants are absolute machines in that ring. These guys move as one unit, they isolate opponents, they cut off the ring. They're essentially what evolution might look like in modern wrestling, a true collective with a singular, dominating purpose. When both teams made their entrances, the atmosphere was absolutely unreal. Team Punk came out fired up, especially CM Punk himself, who looked laser-focused despite the physical toll from previous weeks. The crowd was on their feet, chanting his name, and you could feel the energy radiating through the screen. The Vision, in contrast, made their entrance with cold, calculated precision. No showboating, no playing to the crowd, just 5 competitors who looked ready to execute their game plan to perfection. And honestly, that made them even more intimidating. The match started with incredible intensity. One of Punk's teammates, let's call him the high flyer of the group, started against the Vision's technical specialist, and from the opening bell, they were going move for move. The pace was absolutely frantic. We're talking lightning-quick exchanges, near falls within the first 2 minutes, and both teams showing why they deserve to be in this spotlight. What really stood out early was the storytelling. The Vision immediately tried to isolate Punk's high-flying partner, cutting off the ring and using quick tags to keep fresh competitors in. This is classic heel faction work, and they executed it beautifully. They were targeting the left leg, working it over methodically, trying to take away his aerial arsenal. But here's where Team Punk showed their resilience. Despite being on the defensive, they managed to create an opening. A desperation enziguri stunned the Vision's member long enough for a hot tag, and the powerhouse of Punk's team came in like a wrecking ball. The momentum shifted instantly, and the crowd exploded. The powerhouse was throwing members of the Vision around like ragdolls, massive slams, corner splashes, just pure unbridled power. The Vision tried to use their numbers advantage, but Punk's team was ready. They started showing excellent teamwork, with double-team maneuvers and creative combinations that had the announcers losing their minds. Now, here's where things got serious. About 15 minutes into this war, we got our first elimination, and it was huge. The Vision managed to isolate one of Punk's teammates, the submission specialist of the group, and after a devastating sequence involving all 5 members of the Vision bending the rules, they hit their signature combination finisher. 1, 2, 3, first elimination goes to the Vision, and suddenly the numbers game shifted dramatically. Team Punk was down 4-5, and the Vision looked more confident than ever. Their leader was barking orders from the apron, orchestrating everything like a chess master. But this is where CM Punk's leadership shined through. You could see him rallying his remaining troops, clapping his hands, getting the crowd behind them. Punk tagged himself in, and the place came unglued. What followed was vintage CM Punk excellence. He came in fresh and started dismantling whoever the Vision put in front of him. The striking combinations, the technical wrestling, the psychology, Punk was putting on a clinic. He hit his signature moves with precision, each one building towards something bigger. And then it happened. Punk locked in his submission finisher on one of the Vision's members. The crowd was roaring, the referee was asking if he wanted to give up, and after what felt like an eternity of struggle, we got the tap out. CM Punk evens the score at 4-4, and the momentum completely swung. The next few minutes were absolute chaos. Eliminations started happening rapidly. The Vision caught one of Punk's teammates with a roll-up using the tights. Controversial, but the referee didn't see it. 3-4, advantage Vision. But immediately after, Punk's powerhouse caught 2 Vision members with a double clothesline over the top rope, and in the chaos, rolled one up for the 3 count. We were down to 3-on-3, and every single person in that arena was on their feet. The final stretch of this match was absolutely incredible. Both teams were exhausted, you could see it in their movements, but they kept digging deeper. This is what separates good matches from great matches, that ability to make you believe everything's on the line. The Vision started working over Punk's remaining high flyer again, and this time they weren't taking chances. They hit a brutal tandem powerbomb that looked devastating, and we got another elimination. Team Punk was down to just 2, CM Punk and his powerhouse partner, against 3 members of the Vision. The odds were completely against them now, and the Vision could smell blood in the water. They started showboating, mocking Punk, playing mind games. But here's the thing about CM Punk, he thrives as the underdog. He's built a career on proving people wrong. What happened next was poetry in motion. The powerhouse took out 2 Vision members with a suicide dive that sent all 3 of them crashing into the barricade. Inside the ring, it was just Punk versus the Vision's technical specialist in a one-on-one situation, and these 2 tore the house down. They exchanged strikes in the center of the ring, forearms, chops, kicks, neither man willing to back down. The crowd was chanting back and forth, split between both competitors. Punk hit a spinning backfist that stunned his opponent, then went up top, something we don't see often, and came off with a massive elbow drop for a close 2 count. The near fall was so close that the entire arena thought it was over. But the Vision's leader reached in from the apron and put his teammate's foot on the rope. The referee saw it, but the damage was done. Punk's opponent recovered and hit a devastating superkick, followed by his finishing maneuver. Another elimination, and now it's 1-3. CM Punk, alone, against 3 members of the Vision. This is where CM Punk showed exactly why he's one of the greatest of all time. Despite being outnumbered, despite being exhausted, he refused to quit. The Vision circled him like sharks, and you could see in Punk's eyes that he knew this was going to be a war. The Vision's leader tagged himself in, wanting to be the one to finish Punk off personally. These 2 have history, and this felt deeply personal. They locked up in the center of the ring, and despite everything, Punk was matching him move for move. Punk hit a flurry of offense. The running knee in the corner, the bulldog, the strikes that have defined his career. He was digging into his arsenal, throwing everything he had at the Vision's leader. But every time Punk got close to a pinfall, one of the other Vision members would break it up. The numbers game was just too much. The Vision started using illegal tactics, distracting the referee while the other members interfered. At one point, they hit a 3-on-1 beatdown that should have ended the match, but somehow, CM Punk kicked out at 2. The crowd was absolutely losing it. CM Punk. CM Punk. Chants shook the building. Even though his team was losing, the fans were solidly behind him. This was the kind of performance that creates legacy moments. Punk eliminated one of the remaining Vision members with a desperation GTS that came out of nowhere. It's now 1 versus 2, and suddenly, impossibly, there was hope. But the Vision's leader and his remaining partner weren't going to let this slip away. They hit Punk with everything. Their combination moves, their finishers, brutal strikes that would put down any normal competitor. Punk kept fighting back, but you could see he was running on pure heart at this point. Just when it looked like the Vision was about to put Punk away for good, something happened that nobody expected. The lights flickered. The crowd gasped. And then, the tribal chief's music hit. Roman Reigns. Roman freaking Reigns was back. The place erupted. We haven't seen Roman since he lost the title months ago, and nobody knew when he'd return. But here he was, standing at the top of the ramp in his full regalia, surveying the chaos in the ring. The Vision looked confused. CM Punk looked equally shocked. And Roman just stood there, that trademark smirk on his face, letting the moment breathe. He started walking down the ramp, slowly, deliberately, and the entire arena was on their feet. The question on everyone's mind was, why is he here? What's his intention? The Vision's leader made a critical mistake. He turned his attention to Roman, pointing at him, yelling at him to stay out of their business. And that split second of distraction was all CM Punk needed. Punk rolled up the Vision's remaining partner. Small package. 1, 2, 3. We're down to 1-on-1. Now it's just Punk versus the Vision's leader, and Roman Reigns is at ringside, watching with intense focus. The leader, now realizing he's alone, looked panicked for the first time all night. Punk and the Vision's leader battled back and forth, each looking for that decisive blow. The leader went for his finishing move, but Punk countered it beautifully, transitioning into his submission hold. The leader was in trouble, reaching for the ropes, but they were too far away. And then Roman stepped onto the apron. The referee was distracted by Roman's presence. The leader tapped out. He was tapping repeatedly, but the referee didn't see it because he was warning Roman to get down. Punk released the hold, frustrated, confronting Roman. Words were exchanged, and for a moment, it looked like we were about to see these two legends come to blows. But Roman just smiled, stepped down from the apron, and walked away, leaving Punk confused and vulnerable. The Vision's leader took advantage. Roll up from behind. 1, 2, 3. The Vision wins. But not clean, and not without controversy. The aftermath was absolute pandemonium. The Vision celebrated like they'd won the lottery, but everyone knew this victory was tainted by Roman's interference, whether intentional or not. CM Punk was furious. He rolled out of the ring and grabbed a microphone, calling out Roman Reigns, who was halfway up the ramp. The crowd was chanting, "This is awesome." Because nobody knew what was going to happen next. Roman slowly turned around, grabbed his own microphone, and what he said sent shockwaves through the WWE universe. He talked about watching from home, watching everyone fight over scraps while he was gone. He said the Vision thinks they run Raw, CM Punk thinks he's still the voice of anybody, but they're all forgetting one essential truth. This is his show, this is his yard, and he's back to remind everyone who the real tribal chief is. The stare down between Punk and Roman was intense. You could cut the tension with a knife. Roman made it clear that he's not back to play nice with anyone, not the Vision, not CM Punk, nobody. He's back to reclaim his throne. The Vision's leader, sensing an opportunity, grabbed a microphone and tried to align himself with Roman, saying they both wanted the same thing, to put CM Punk in his place. But Roman shut him down immediately, saying he doesn't need anyone, doesn't want partners, and certainly doesn't respect anyone in the Vision. So now we have this incredible situation. The Vision thinks they control Raw, CM Punk wants revenge on both the Vision and Roman Reigns just returned, making it clear he's above everyone. This is a three-way powder keg ready to explode. Wrestling vs. family, we are in for an insane few weeks ahead. Roman Reigns is back, the Vision is more dangerous than ever, and CM Punk is caught in the middle of what could be the storyline of the year. Where do you think this is heading? Is Roman going to feud with Punk? Will he target the Vision? Could we see an unholy alliance? Drop your predictions in the comments below. If you enjoyed this breakdown, absolutely demolish that like button, subscribe to Wrestling Versec for more incredible WWE coverage, and hit that notification bell so you never miss a video. I'll be back later this week with SmackDown coverage, NXT highlights, and more. Until next time, keep living in the wrestling verse, and remember, always acknowledge your tribal chief.